Hey, my friend, imagine this. The Dallas Cowboys walking into Philadelphia on opening night, lights blazing, the entire country watching, and George Pickens lining up across from Darius Slay. Yeah, this is real. This isn't just hype. The Cowboys made a statement trading for Pickens, and now Stephen Jones has made it crystal clear. They don't see him as just a number 2 receiver. They see something more. And that, right there, changes everything. Let me break it down for you. Stephen Jones went on the record during an interview with Adam Shine and didn't hold back. He said they see Pickens as more than a 2, and even went as far as comparing him to Dez Bryant. Yep, that Dez Bryant. The fire, the edge, the fight to win. That's what Pickens brings. This isn't just about filling a gap. This is about creating a dangerous duo with CeeDee Lamb. Think about that for a second. The Cowboys have been searching for a true WR2 for years, and now they might have ended up with 2 WR1s instead. Now, of course, some fans are asking if this could create problems. 2 alpha receivers in one offense? But let's be real. If anything, this gives Dallas a major advantage. You move CeeDee into the slot, put Pickens outside, or flip it depending on the matchup. Who do defenses key in on? Good luck with that. And that's not even factoring in what this means for Dak Prescott, who now has a real shot at leading one of the most explosive passing attacks in the league. Quick question for you. Do you think George Pickens will outproduce CeeDee Lamb in at least one game this season? Drop a yes or no in the comments. I'm really curious how you see this playing out. And listen, if you're excited about this move and can't wait to see Pickens rocking that star on his helmet, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel too. We're on the road to 14,000 subscribers, and your support makes a massive difference. Now, let's talk about how this trade even came together. Because it wasn't just luck or desperation. It was calculated. The Cowboys didn't stumble into George Pickens. They targeted him. Behind the scenes, this front office had been quietly monitoring the situation in Pittsburgh for months. And when the tension between Pickens and the Steelers reached its peak, Dallas pounced. Sources close to the situation revealed that Pickens had grown frustrated in Pittsburgh, not just with the lack of targets, but with the way the offense was being run. It wasn't a secret. There were moments last season where his body language on the field said everything. And Dallas, they saw a young, hungry player who still hasn't hit his ceiling. According to multiple insiders, Stephen and Jerry Jones were both heavily involved in the negotiations. They knew the price, likely a day 2 pick, but they saw it as a bargain for a potential star. And here's something else to consider. This move wasn't just about talent. It was about edge. The Cowboys believe their team lacked that fire late last season, especially when it mattered most. Pickens brings that edge. You may remember that sideline outburst against the Ravens. That kind of energy is exactly what this locker room needs. Controlled chaos, passion, a fight to win. But hey, let's be fair. Not everyone is convinced this is a home run. Some analysts worry about Pickens' maturity, his consistency, or how he'll mesh with the Cowboys' culture. But think about this. Wasn't that the same concern when Dallas drafted Dez? Sometimes that chip on your shoulder is what separates the good from the great. Let me ask you this. Do you think the Cowboys gave up too much to get Pickens? Or was it a smart gamble on a guy who could become a star in the right system? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new here and loving the insight, don't forget to subscribe. This channel is built for real Cowboys fans like you who want the truth behind the headlines. Ready to dig into what this means for the offense moving forward? Let's keep going. All right, now let's zoom in on the offense, because George Pickens isn't just another wide receiver. He's a piece that could shift the entire dynamic of this unit. First off, CeeDee Lamb finally has a legit running mate. That's massive. Last year, defenses loaded up on Lamb because they knew Dallas didn't have a true second threat. Brandon Cooks flashed at times, but let's be honest, he wasn't consistent enough. Pickens changes that immediately. He Gives you a vertical weapon with size, attitude, and the ability to make contested catches look routine. He's not a gadget guy. He's a playmaker who demands attention, and that's going to open up the field for everyone else. Think about it like this. When you've got Lamb working underneath and across the middle, and now Pickens stretching the boundary or pulling safeties deep, how do you cover that? It creates more space for Jake Ferguson at tight end. It gives Cooks a chance to win against softer coverage, and it might even breathe life into the run game, because now defenses can't just stack the box without getting burned deep. But here's the real kicker. Dak Prescott has no excuses anymore. Zero. The front office just handed him another weapon, and now it's on him to make it work. This is his show. If Dak wants that extension, if he wants to prove he can be the guy in Dallas, this is the moment. Because Pickens, for all his fire and flair, is going to expect the ball. He's not coming here to block on the edge or run decoy routes. He wants to eat. So let me throw it to you. Do you think Pickens and Lamb can become a top 5 duo in the league? Or do you see possible chemistry issues ahead? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you've got a favorite Pickens college or NFL highlight, I want to hear that too. We're not done yet, because this move doesn't just impact the starters. The wide receiver room just got a serious shakeup, and not everyone's going to survive it. Let's talk about that next. Now let's talk about the ripple effect this trade has on the rest of the wide receiver room. Pickens coming in isn't just about what he brings to the starting lineup. It's about how it forces everyone else to step up or face the reality of being replaced. This is the business side of things that's often overlooked, but it's real. CeeDee Lamb is still the top dog, but now he's got competition. And for some of the guys further down the depth chart, this could mean a short leash. Look at Jalen Tolbert, for instance. He's had flashes, sure, but nothing to prove he deserves a spot over a proven commodity like Pickens. The reality is, if Tolbert doesn't have a standout camp in preseason, he could find himself on the outside looking in. And then there's the veteran Brandon Cooks. His role now gets a little tricky. Cooks is a speedster and has always been a guy who stretches the field. But that's exactly what Pickens does too. It'll be interesting to see how the Cowboys use both guys. Will they both be outside threats, or does Cooks move into the slot? If Pickens takes the primary outside role, does Cooks become a take the top off the defense type guy who can take advantage of the mismatches? You also have to consider how this affects the offensive scheme. If Pickens comes in and plays up to his potential, we could see a more aggressive passing attack, more deep shots, more contested catches. It also opens the door for a more creative use of Lamb, where he isn't always expected to do everything. Imagine putting him in the slot, where he could eat against mismatches, while Pickens takes on the top cornerback. That's a game changer. So, let me ask you this. Do you think this new wide receiver competition will bring out the best in the group, or could it create some friction? Are you excited to see how this all unfolds? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And before we dive into the next chapter, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on these updates. We're working towards hitting 14,000 subscribers, and we want you in the conversation. Let's keep going. So, after all this talk about George Pickens, the big question remains, is this trade the missing piece that finally pushes the Cowboys over the edge? We've talked about how it affects the offense, the wide receiver room, and Dak Prescott's future. But what about the team as a whole? Let's not forget that the Cowboys' offense has been good, but not great. The defense, elite. But the offense has always been the question mark. With Pickens now in the fold, the Cowboys have a legitimate chance to upgrade that side of the ball, especially in key moments when games get tight. You don't need to be a genius to know that when the playoffs roll around, you need weapons who can win on their own. Pickens has that potential. What's even more intriguing is the fact that the Cowboys didn't just pull this off with a draft pick or a hopeful rookie. This is an established player who's shown he can handle the NFL spotlight. Sure, it's still early, but when you think about how Pickens is coming in, with the confidence to back it up, It makes you think that this might be the year Dallas puts it all together. No more excuses, right? Now, I want to know what you think. Does Pickens give the Cowboys that extra firepower to seriously compete for a Super Bowl? Or are there still other areas of concern that need addressing before we can call this a championship-caliber team? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading all of them. And before you go, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We're aiming for 14,000 subscribers, and your support helps make this channel even better. We've got a lot more analysis coming your way, so stick around. You won't want to miss what's next. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.